Good morning, students. How are you all? Welcome back. So here I come to the next video of our next part of the lesson. I hope you are all watching the videos properly and understanding my videos. So during this time you are asked to sit at home and read properly by seeing the experiments what I am explaining and write the notes. Okay, I hope you are all understanding. Let us see the next topic. Before I start the first our video today, I want to explain you the last what are the parts, what are the lessons, what are the activities. In which lesson we are? Respiration. Respiration in organisms. Isn't it? Respiration in organisms. So now, in this lesson, respiration in organisms, I explained a few activities, isn't it? Few activities that how does we inhale, how does we exhale, what is present in inhaled air, and what are the differences between inhaled and exhaled air, isn't it? In the last class, does our chest cavity expand while you are breathing, while you are breathing or doing exercise like that? I explained few activities, isn't it? Now, so next I asked in the last activity, I asked you to observe the moisture in your breath, isn't it? How do you observe the moisture in the breath? Take a long breath. Take a long breath near and stand before the mirror. Take a long breath and exhale the air onto the mirror so that you can observe some moisture. So that you can observe some moisture on that mirror, isn't it? This moisture indicates that there is some water vapor in our exhaled air. Does the air is warm or not? By showing, by feeling on the index finger, I have observed that inhaled and exhaled air, isn't it? Now, see if you do the same with the syringe. Same with the syringe. I shown you the syringe in the last video, so that pumping up and observe onto your index finger only. It will not be any warm or cooler, isn't it? The same. If you press the syringe in front of the mirror, it won't show any water droplets or water vapor. It does not indicate that any moisture in that, isn't it? Now, so like that you have proved some of the experiments. Now, what is air? What are the important gases present in the air? Who are responsible for us that respiration is carried on due to these gases into our body? Respiration means only these gases are useful for us. What are those gases? As I said, the air we take, air is a mixture of gases, isn't it? Air is a mixture of gases. It may contain oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, some inert gases, etc. Isn't it? It may contain some inert gases or any oxygen, carbon dioxide or other gases. Does this all gases required to our body or not? Then among all these gases, which are needed by our body? Whether it is oxygen or carbon dioxide or nitrogen, how do we know? So for that, many of the scientists of course worked. Among them, 4 scientists, we should consider them as important scientists because they have proved that this oxygen and carbon dioxide are useful for our body for respiration. Understand? For respiration. Who are those scientists? What are those names? Let us tell you. Let me explain you. So if you go to the lesson part, what does the air contains? Air is a mixture of gases, as we know. That who is a scientist? I'm explaining now. Who is a scientist to discover that first it was discovered carbon dioxide. Who is that? Carbon dioxide. Which is the gas was discovered first? Carbon dioxide. Whether it is carbon dioxide or not, we don't know. First scientist, von Helmont. We heard the scientist's name in the previous class. He is the first person to take first step in discovering the gas which is present in the air, what we inhale and exhale. Okay? Now, von Helmont, by observing charcoal. Charcoal is a substance, black colored substance. It is a chemical substance. What he observed by using the charcoal, you know, von Helmont, he have measured some amount of charcoal. He have selected this charcoal substance and he measured that charcoal with so many grams, 50 grams or 100 grams, maybe not. Okay. Now, when he burnt that charcoal, what happens? It's a black color solid substance. Charcoal, I said no. It is a solid substance. When you burnt that, it will become ash, isn't it? So it is nothing. It is a charcoal. You can say similar to the coal. It will be like coal. Okay, but so now that charcoal, when it burns, what happens when you burn coal in our house? If anybody have seen that burning coal, isn't it? So when you burn that charcoal, what happens? It turns into ash, isn't it? So like that, charcoal is also similar to the coal. So he observed that von Helmont have taken the substance called as charcoal and he burnt that. When it is started burning and after burning, the charcoal became turned into ash. So when he measured this, I said in the beginning, he measured this charcoal, isn't it? For example, 100 grams of charcoal. This one, after burning the ash, it will be some 90 grams. What is the difference here? 10 grams. What is the difference? 10 grams, isn't it? What happened to this 10 grams? After burning, the same amount of charcoal after burning and it is converted into ash also. Why can't it be 100 grams? What is this 10 grams? It is in the form of some invisible substance. In the form of gas. It might have gone to the air. He thought like that. There starts the discovery of carbon dioxide by the most important scientist called as von Helmont. If you want to observe their pictures, scientist pictures, what are the experiments they have done, you can observe and how are they and what do they did. Okay. Now, see now, charcoal when they burnt, when it turned into the ash, the weight has become less than the charcoal what has burnt, isn't it? So that substance is in the form of invisible gas, that is nothing but carbon dioxide. What is that? Carbon dioxide. So another scientist, he have taken another step and study series of experiments. Who is that? You know, Joseph Black. Who is that? Joseph Black. In 1756, Joseph Black, he have taken some limestone. What is that? Limestone, and he mixed with acid. Limestone he mixed with acid. Some gas is liberated. What is that gas? How does he know whether that gas is carbon dioxide or not? He proved. How does he prove, you know? Yes. Later on in the next classes also you will be learning about these scientists. These are very very important scientists. How they proved that inhaled air contains oxygen, exhaled air contains carbon dioxide. First they have done the exhaled air experiment, that is carbon dioxide, by these two scientists. Okay, now coming back, Joseph Black in 1756, he have done the experiment on limestone and he added that limestone to the acid and released some gas which is nothing but carbon dioxide. How does he know that it is carbon dioxide, you know? That gas, when it passed to the lime water, that gas when it is allowed into the lime water, it turns into milky white. It turns into milky white. So that this is a change he observed by the and he confirmed that exhaled gas consists of carbon dioxide. Okay, now today what I explained now. So how does the carbon dioxide, what inhaled air oxygen and exhaled air carbon dioxide, how they are and how who discovered them, we have to remember them because what are they doing inside, why they are important for us, it should be known to everyone. That's why it is incorporated in our lesson, isn't it? Now who is the first scientist? Von Helmont. Von Helmont has discovered carbon dioxide by taking charcoal substance and burning, and that which changes into ash. So if the charcoal weight is 100 grams, the what is that? After it becomes ash, the 10% visible, which is in the form of visible substance, nothing but gas. It might be carbon dioxide, he said. Okay, that is nothing but Van Helmont. Later on, in 1756, Joseph Black has stepped on further and he did experiment on limestone. He added this limestone to the acid and the gas that released is nothing but carbon dioxide. Okay, then carbon dioxide, how do you prove that? I'll show you how the lime water turns into carbon dioxide. We will see. Okay, so now these two scientists, I have told about the carbon dioxide. Later on we will see how the oxygen was discovered. Okay, let us see now who discovered oxygen and what is the secret of discovering the oxygen and who are the scientists. I'll let you know by small experiment which you have to study in higher classes also. Okay, now after 2 decades, means 20 years, one scientist have proved that oxygen is useful for the plants and animals. Who is that scientist? Who is the scientist, you know? Joseph Priestley. Who is that? Joseph Priestley. He was a scientist. Later on, the discovery of carbon dioxide after 20 years, Joseph Priestley started that what is present in the inhaled air. How does it is useful for the living organisms? So by doing one experiment, he proved that oxygen. How it was, you know, let me explain. He have taken, Joseph Priestley discovered the oxygen after 20 decades. What is present in the inhaled air? What does the inhaled air contains? Whether it is oxygen or not, he discovered, the scientist, nothing but Joseph Priestley. Understand? Along with this Joseph Priestley, there are also another scientist called as Lavoisier helped him in the discovery of oxygen. Okay, let us see how the Joseph Priestley have discovered this oxygen. He concluded that oxygen is required, oxygen is needed by every living organism by doing one simple experiment with the bell jar. With the some bell jar, he have taken rat and mint plant and candle. These are the apparatus he used. Who is that? Presley. He used these apparatus and have done the experiment. I'll show you by the procedure by taking the bell jar. Now I am drawing the bell jar. See that? First, he will take the platform. Onto that bell jar, he will be introducing. So this is the mint plant. By observing this mint plant, and he introduced first rat, and with all these, it is a candle. First, he did not take all these at once. Of course, I have shown here three together in the bell jar to prove that oxygen is necessary. Here, rat is alive and a candle is lighted. Because of the mint plant, something it is releasing out. That is nothing but oxygen gas. What is that? That is nothing but oxygen gas. Okay. Now here with this experiment, Presley confirmed that there is a survival gas there. It is making to rat to be alive and the candle to be lighted. Understand? So with this experiment, Presley have discovered this oxygen gas. So by the four scientists what I taught you now, they proved that oxygen and carbon dioxide which are present in the air are required for us in respiration. Okay. Now let us see what are the how does this gases present are oxygen or carbon dioxide. Presley, as I said, carbon dioxide who discovered? By Joseph Black, isn't it? Von Helmont and Joseph Black had discovered carbon dioxide with the experiment limestone and acid changing into lime water, milky white, isn't it? So how does that converts into milky white? What is the proof of oxygen solution, the oxygen presence? Let us tell you briefly within 2 minutes so that you can see later on what are the respiratory gases, how does the breathing takes place in different organisms like fish to the human beings. Okay. So now let us see that, see this is the he is the person blowing. See, take this is the person. Take two test tubes here, rubber tube, and he is blowing the air into the two test tubes. Two test tubes here. So here these are the two boiling tubes. So here you should prove that oxygen by which solution, carbon dioxide by which solution, they are that gases. Oxygen by phenolphthalein. What is that? Phenolphthalein solution, and carbon dioxide by lime water. Understand? So see, in this two boiling tubes, take two boiling tubes and fix two rubber tubes and ask and allow any person to blow out, suck the air and blow out, so that first you must take phenolphthalein solution and then you should do with the lime water. Okay, first take this experiment for oxygen. See, how does the air contains oxygen? To test the presence of oxygen, you should require phenolphthalein solution. So take two boiling tubes, arrange the apparatus like this. Ask your friend, you can also do of course in your house. Arrange the apparatus. Take two rubber tubes, passing into the two boiling tubes. Two boiling tubes which contains phenolphthalein solution, which contain phenolphthalein solution. Understand? So ask him to suck the air and blow the air, and what is the change you observe in the phenolphthalein solution when you blow the air? Oxygen, when you blow the air, when you suck the air and when you blow the air, oxygen and carbon dioxide will enter into it. If it is phenolphthalein solution, it changes into some color, so which proves that the inhaled air contains oxygen. Okay, and same after that, after proving that oxygen is required, now coming to the carbon dioxide. It is very simple experiment which you can prove with lime water. So as Joseph Priestley has said that lime water turns milky white if it is carbon dioxide present. If there is carbon dioxide. How? See, same, wash the boiling tubes. Wash the boiling tubes. In this two test tube, two boiling tubes, you must add lime water. Okay? So now repeat the experiment after the phenolphthalein. So after the phenolphthalein, throw the solution and take the boiling tubes and fill with lime water. So that same rubber tubes connect to your mouth. First you suck in air. Inhale and exhale. What does it indicates? So when you exhale, when inhale, no change will be observed. When you exhale, that blowing air into this boiling tubes, you can observe this lime water changes milky white. You can observe lime water changes milky white. So this is the experiment proved by the scientist to prove that carbon dioxide only the gas which turns the lime water into milky white. Okay. So by this experiment, the scientists have proved that oxygen and carbon dioxide only are used for our respiration processes, not other gases. Understand? Oxygen, apart from that, nitrogen, helium, neon, xenon, these all gases may be present, but apart from that, oxygen and carbon dioxide only used for us in respiration process, isn't it? Now, so with this, we confirm that oxygen and carbon dioxide are present. Oxygen is present in inhaled air. Carbon dioxide is present in exhaled air, isn't it? Now for this lime water, carbon dioxide, if you leave the lime water, whitewash near outside, if for example, if you observe, so the next day morning on that lime water, one layer like a milky white layer substance is present, so that the carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere reacts with lime water. Only the carbon dioxide can react with this limestone or lime water and changes into milky white. Understand? So this proves that carbon dioxide is present in exhaled air and oxygen by phenolphthalein solution. So students, I hope you understood who are the different scientists, what are the gases which are required for our breath, isn't it? This is the oxygen experiment proved by Priestley, and this is the carbon dioxide experiment proved by Joseph Black. Okay. So next, how much you inhale will be the same you exhale. What is the amount of air you inhale will be the same in exhale air. How does this possible? Isn't it? Now, see, it is not at all same in inhaling and exhaling. The percentage of inhaled gases and exhaled gases will be different. Okay? Percentage of inhaled and exhaled gas is different. Exhaled gas is different. See, what is that? I'll write in your box. Oxygen, see, gas, inhaled, exhaled. See, whether the gas, what I am going to explain now, how much percentage of inhaled gas and exhaled gas, is it same in both the cases? Oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. We will see. Okay. For example, oxygen, if we inhale 16%, exhale, it will be only 9%. While you are exhale the air, we will not say that only oxygen should enter, only carbon dioxide should come out. It is not like that. As air is a mixture of gases, we will take all the gases, isn't it? So now, when you inhale this oxygen 16%, the exhale contains only 9%, isn't it? Carbon dioxide, if it is 0.4%, the exhaled air contains 40%. What is that? 40%. Is there any change in the inhaled and exhaled gas? Definitely you can observe the difference. 97%, 97.4% like that. So, the composition of inhaled oxygen is different from the composition of exhaled oxygen. Isn't it? I hope it is clear that what we inhale is different from what we exhale. So, same gases are present in both exhalation and inhalation. But why? What is the difference? What is the difference between these two? What is happening? The remaining percent of oxygen, that I'll continue in the next class. So up to that, I hope you will understood all these revised ones, and thank you for watching this video.